welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful week and you're ready for another talking. So, this week we're going to talk about danger and the risks involved in being an interpreter, not much as a translator, but as an interpreter. So, grab your coffee or tea, and the meeting is about to start. And I now declare the meeting open. And today we talk about a very serious matter that affects our profession. And it's hardly spoken about because a lot of people don't realize um, that it's actually a problem and that it actually happens and affects a lot of people in our industry. I'm talking about um, translators and interpreters that work in war zones and they themselves become targets um, of extremist regimes in their countries, and they end up being protected by foreign governments because of the work that they carry out. I'm talking about um, recent news of interpreters that have helped the Australian government in Afghanistan that have been targeted. Unfortunately, apparently, some of them have been targeted and died and were killed by the Taliban. And of course, um, this is something very important for our industry. The Australian government has granted protection visas to some of these interpreters. And I think we need to create awareness for this fact because there is a lot of people that put their lives on the line um, in order to protect others and create a better world. Um, we usually see the soldiers, of course, because they are the obvious people. We see them there. Sometimes you also mention journalists that are there doing their jobs, but translators and interpreters are usually forgotten because we are not seen as a risky profession. Well, we are a risky profession. We sometimes have to do risky jobs, and this is the proof of it. We can help connect these cultures. We can help connect, and we can help those who are trying to quash these extremist regimes by making a connection with the culture and with the language and helping others to understand what their plans are and how they can help. So this is very important. And by doing this, unfortunately, they may become targets. The risk taken must be considered. I think companies or governments, in this particular case, when they hire the services of translators or interpreters for doing this type of job, they should bear in mind the risks that that professional may be taking in helping them, and obviously put protective measures in place so that professional doesn't become a target. We need to create awareness for this, and obviously the colleagues that do this work need to be compensated either by being offered a protection visa to move to another country and be protected, or obviously in money. I think in this particular case the money wouldn't be the best because staying in a place where you can be a target is not a very good option. Um, but some measures that will help remove those professionals from that place and from the danger of being targeted and killed because of the work that they carried out. Associations, I believe they can help with this. Our associations may actually lobby with governments and talk to governments and make them understand the importance of the work that we do and the risks actually that are involved, and what can be done in order to mitigate this risk and um, help more interpreters and translators who actually do this job, because otherwise it's a deterrent. It's a deterrent. If you ask me, a lot of colleagues may think twice before accepting a job like this, because they know they're going to be a target. They know they may be killed, and then it's seriously a deterrent. Even though I know a lot of them do it for their country and do it because, after all, it's they trying to help their country just as the soldiers do. So they're putting their lives on the line just as the soldiers do, and it's a very noble work for both. So I think both should be protected. Today I decided to talk about this here because I would like people to understand that when you talk about a translator and or an interpreter, it's not just that person that go with you to a doctor's appointment, or that person that may be translating your applications to the government or your website or something like that. In fact, we have colleagues, there is translators and interpreters that work in very dangerous fields, and to carry out their jobs, they sometimes have to put their lives on the line, and they sometimes go through a great length of risk um, in order to help their clients achieve their goals. And I think we should talk about this. We should create awareness about this. So um, we know that it exists, and actually, if we talk about this, maybe the governments will understand that this is actually something that they should actually look into, and create some provisions to protect these professionals, because they are helping them achieve their goals, and they are helping them helping their country, and therefore they should help them as well. So this is a very sensitive issue. Obviously, it's not easy, and of course, there's all sorts of rules and regulations involved, and each country will have their own rules, and obviously we have to respect that. But when a government goes and hires someone to do a job like this, and if that person is in another country and their life may be put at risk because of that job, I think um, we should actually consider that risk, and consider what that person is doing and what that person is risking, and protecting them so they can keep on helping us. So I think this is important. That's why I decided to talk about this today, because I would like to start a conversation, create awareness for this, because it's not only in Afghanistan. It was not only with the Australian government, and the Australian government actually provided a few protection visas for some translators and interpreters that were working, and other staff that were working with them in Afghanistan. But it happens in other war zones as well. It happens in other countries, and even in other contexts. It's not only in war zones or something like that. There is sometimes um, projects that are risky, and we should be aware of the risks that a translator may incur to help um, their clients and do their jobs. And I now declare the meeting closed. I hope you really like this topic. I know it's a very sensitive one, um, but if you are there, maybe if you have worked in a very risky project, and you would like to share your experience, or telling us how difficult that environment may be, please share. Or if you have any questions, um, about this topic, please feel free to ask. As I said in the last meeting, the comments now are moderated because of high influx of spamming in YouTube channels recently, and a few channels have been threatened with being deleted by YouTube if they did not address this issue. One of the YouTubers came up with an idea of the moderation, which I think is great, and therefore I now implemented that on my channels as well. So please don't be put off by the moderation, because if your comment is legitimate, it will obviously be accepted and it will be responded. I will be very, very, very pleased to answer all of your queries. So please keep commenting. Um, and like the whole YouTube algorithm conversation. Before I go, I would like to ask you to subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of each meeting every week. And again, before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.